everyone? It's the Hollywood Beatdown with UFC star Tyron Woodley. My name is Evan. What's going on, Tyron?
What's up, my man? You in California, I'm in St. Louis, the South Side.
A lot has transpired since the last time we talked, so let's get right into it. We're fired up. Tyron, let's just start at the beginning, man. I mean, what happened?
Hey, what the fuck you saying, my man? Hey, at the end of the day, one thing I want to say is that I'm not in bad spirits. You know, I don't like losing. I'm not accepting a loss, but it's a loss sometimes is the aggregate of the entire fight, or if a finish takes place. But sometimes there's small victories even within a loss. And I remember, you know, I got in exchange. Now, what is motherfucker to knock me down? Everybody knocked down. He did not knock me down, goddamn. Right. We were throwing a punch at the same time. I got offline a little bit. He clipped me a little bit, grabbed my head. And when he kind of maneuvered me with a collar tie, it knocked me off balance. And I kind of went back. You know what I mean? Because it kind of all happened real quick. And then he jumped on me and he punched a couple times, like a couple of hammer fists, and he dropped the elbow. Now, the elbow cut me. Found a way to get back to my feet, got back to my feet. And I remember feeling something warm going in my eye. I'm like, motherfucker, am I cut? And I looked up at the screen. I'm like, I'm cut. At that moment, a lot of fighters, you can admit it or not, motherfucker, they're like, damn, I'm cut wide open. The referee might stop it. You know what I mean? How am I going to recover from this?
Yeah.
And I said, Tyron, your heart rate was just 35 when they checked you before the fight. Take a deep breath. I know there's a lot of blood right there. Breathe. You won't bleed out. Just keep focusing and stay on the stick. Get to the second round. I start off the second round winning. Then I got hungry for a big power shot. He got underneath, took me down. I spent too much time on the mat. So the third round, I still had the same mentality. Tyron, come back. You got it. Don't worry about it. You're a champion, my dude. You built for these 5 rounds. And you can see I was in shape. My cardio was on point. Yeah. It was nothing like, oh, okay, he got gas. I was tired. Then this motherfucker started kicking my leg. Whew. I felt like it was a spy in the training camp, because I had a contusion on my leg. And literally on my leg, we were training for the calf kick because we knew he threw a lot of calf kicks. We knew that the camp threw a lot of calf kicks. You watch his teammate Luke the week before threw a lot of calf kicks. So we was prepared for it. But in preparation, my coach threw a calf kick and landed with the heel of his wrestling shoe, and it hit a weird nerve. So we've been doing acupuncture, ARPing, stimming, massage therapy, chiropractor, everything to try to do is stay off of the double shin guards, because I knew he was going to land there. And the goal, I mean, this is a part of sport, it shifted. And the new game plan to defend the calf kick was when he throws it, almost stand straight up, move my leg out of the way, but then come down like an avalanche puncher. Unfortunately for me, the first time he landed it, I was ever so planted on my front leg. I was throwing a jab in the third round, and he landed that bitch right on my spot. Boom. And I couldn't even hide it. I couldn't put on a poker face, because I just felt like that headache in the back of my eyeball. Yeah. Then I got hit with another calf kick. Then it got to the point where I'm like, do I switch my stance? But if you switch your stance, a motherfucker like, oh, I got off on you. Let me keep going. So I think that kind of threw me off and kind of took me out of my rhythm. But the victories I found within that fight is, one, I was having a talk with myself. I'm like, my people out here fighting for equality, fighting for justice. I'm not finna fucking let him finish me. I'm not finna quit. I'm not finna give up. And I really was having that thought in my mind. All the way up into the last round, I'm like, all right, you know, it ain't over till the fat lady sing. You know what I mean? It only take me to touch him one time. And I think I started to look for that perfect 1 or 2 punches. And those are corrections I can make. So I hold my head high. I've been out for, you know, a long time. I didn't really feel like I had a lot of ring rust. I feel like I got off to a bad start, and I was trying to get momentum. And then, you know, a few things didn't go my way. But at the end of the day, I fought, and I wouldn't give up, and I wasn't going to quit. And I'm going to fight again soon. They already offered me a fight. And, you know, I said yes. Obviously, we'll see what the other side says, because Colby's been faking it forever. But they asked me the very next day. They said we should want to put this fight together with you and Colby. I said, all right, man, let me know when.
After the fight, some people were saying maybe it's time to wrap up the career. What do you say to those people?
It's nowhere near. You know what I mean? If I was 38 and I couldn't compete, it wasn't like he was out there and he was just levels above me. He was so much better at striking, so much stronger, so much faster, so much, you know, better at power. It wasn't any of the things. That could have happened at the beginning of my career. And it has happened earlier on at a young age. People just think that when they look at an age and they think of a person that they're not used to, and that's really a credit to me. They're not used to seeing me lose, and that's the first time anybody has seen me take 2 L's back to back. But I took 2 lessons back to back, and one thing I've learned from taking lessons is that as long as you learn from it, the ability to come back stronger is there. So me thinking of retiring is not even an option. I haven't finished my career the way that I wanted, and I started training in the beginning of my professional career for these moments. If I was just relying on my wrestling and just relying on being tough, I trained so that when I get to this point in my career, I can still outstrike the best strikers. I can still hold my own with the best grapplers. I can still out wrestle the best wrestlers. I was still faster. I was still stronger. And I still feel that way. And I still feel like I'm the best. And this is just a stumbling block. So no, I'm not even contemplating, retiring.
You have created opportunities for yourself that a lot of fighters haven't done in the past. And there's a lot of shit talking from other fighters who, in my opinion, seem jealous of you because you've seized the moments where other fighters haven't. And I don't think that's a negative thing. I think they should be big upping you and congratulating you and asking you how do I do that the same way that Tyron Woodley did that, so that I'm not stuck in one lane the rest of my life. And I think that you should be praised for that.
So fighters that are hating on me, they don't understand. And we're built to crush each other. We're built to talk shit about each other. We're built to do the press conferences. And we're built in a sense where people they worship the UFC so much, and they want to be in such good graces with the brass, that they do what they think the brass wants to hear. They do what they think the fans want to see. They say what they think sounds cool. And I do what the fuck I want to do because I want to do it. And I do it because it's me. And I do it because it's real. And any real motherfucker can gravitate towards me because real recognizes real. But when I say corny, when I say someone's corny, that means that you're making a choice to try to do something to please somebody else or to be like somebody else because you think it worked for them. Keyword them. What I do may not work for you. You know what I mean? What Connor does not work for me. And that's okay. He's his own man. He's in his own lane. So when people see me do all these different things, it's their limited mind. It's their boxed in mentality. And that's their willingness to put themselves in one category and apply limits to their life. I want to apply limits to my life. I'll never do that. I always say fuck average, fuck limits. You know what I mean? Fuck boundaries. Don't try to put me in a box because I'm going to blast out that motherfucker and I'm going to shock everybody.
All right, moving on to the next segment. It's called
On the Real, though.
On the Real, though, I know that outside of fighting, we've been talking about this. You've got a lot of things going on. One thing I know you're passionate about is what's going on with social justice, what's going on with George Floyd. I know you've been working on some projects behind the scenes. Are you ready to talk about that out loud right now?
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about it because it needs to be moved forward. And sometimes when we speak about things and we talk about them, it gives us a time clock and it gives us accountability to get the shit popping. So I spoke with you. Obviously, we talked the other day about it, and the thing I have a great group of peers that are in high places, not just meaning that they are CEOs or executives, but in their mind, they think big picture and they're passionate people. So we can have conversations that, have you had this conversation with somebody else that's African-American or Jewish or whatever the circumstance may be, they may be offended. But since I know you, I know it's going to come from a place of love. You know the same thing for me. My business partner I spoke with, who's Italian, it's going to come from love. I talked to Dana White about it. I talked to Daniel Eck, who's the CEO of Spotify, Kevin Weaver, who's the president of Atlantic Records on the West Coast. And everybody is so committed. Nate Parker is so committed, to join the race and to get involved. And everybody's hungry for it. Like when you're hungry for blood, everybody's hungry for solutions.
So you're putting together a coalition of powerful people to help come up with ideas to improve race relations and attack police brutality in the United States?
I'm coming up with a very, very powerful coalition. I'm coming up with a coalition of movers and shakers, people that are respected in the industries that they blaze, but also people that are creative forward thinking, but also receptive to other ideologies. It's certain people that don't recognize that racism exists because they, one, has not been exposed to it, they not participated in it, and it wasn't taught to them by their parents. But that same ignorance is just as bad as someone that knows it's going on and disregards it or is very insensitive to it. Slavery has been 400 years, get over it. You know what I mean? When you think about the institution of slavery, you think about the ability not to make an income, to be forced to come to a different country, which you don't even know the culture, the native tongue. You're forced to come there and build an empire on blood, sweat, tears, death, rape, and torn away from the family. That's a mindset. To tell someone that black is ugly, is dark, you know what I mean, your complexion, your hair color, it forms colorism, which is beyond African American. When you go to India, the darker complected Indians are treated like it's a curse on them. And you see Asians, maybe they're in the film industry or the modeling or print ad, they have umbrellas on because they want to be as light as complected as possible because it's a negative connotation with black. Black is dark, it's spider, it's snake, it's scary. I should be afraid of it. But white is bright, it's illumination, it's pure, it's something, it's happy. And that's something that we have been programmed with. But if you can program something, you can unprogram something. And there's certain different levels, you know what I mean? Obviously, African-American community and just people that are hurting and people that are affected by the police relations in general, it's a part that we can play. And we got to be honest and we got to be real. And we got to look at that. And we got to take a strong glance in the mirror and see how we can help the situation. Everybody has to be willing to open up that box and listen to learn, listen to empathize, listen to get a better understanding of where somebody else has come from. Not listen to refute, to rebuttal, to attack, to get your thought off. Because sometimes we listen and we already got our points that we want to get across. And the second a motherfucker say something that's going to strike their nerve, we jump on them. And from my standpoint, as a person that's lived in Ferguson, Missouri, the street where the riot, you know, I dated a girl that lived in the apartment complex where Michael Brown got shot. I used to drive in that exact driveway to get to her house. So at the end of the day, it's very near and dear to me. So I have to also be willing to give the benefit of the doubt that guess what? This person may have never experienced racism. Sage Northcutt, for a perfect example. And I told you the story's kind of funny. Yeah. I picked him up from the airport in LAX. I took him to Skid Row so he can see the homeless people. He had never seen anything like that in his life. I took him to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. He had never had a fried piece of protein in his entire life. He had 4 Skittles before then. And that was like literally, not 4 packs, 4 Skittles. And I took him to see Birth of a Nation, a film by my brother, Nate Turner. Is about Nat Turner. And we left the theater and he said, "Mr. Woodley, I'm angry." And that innocent, and he's just turned 21 at the time, but that innocent reaction tells us that racism is not genetic, that it's taught. He had never seen it. He had never been taught it. But that the ability to be able to listen and recognize with patience that people may not have experienced it, participated, or know that it exists on the level that it does. And there are also people like me that have to recognize that there are people that do recognize it and they are trying to help. And we have to give them opportunity to get involved because it's not black or white. It's black and white.
I'm glad you're taking the action, man. I really am. I think that if anybody is capable to round up the people, make an impact, it's you. So I'm excited to see.
It's going down. It's definitely going down.
All right, Tyron, who are you going to punch in the face and who gets a pat on the back this week?
To be honest, we're going to punch racism in the face. We're going to punch the long history of it, the institution of it, the evilness behind it. We're going to punch the people that participate in it, the people that are closet racist, the people that think it's okay to be racist, and people that are turning their backs and their eyes away from it and just go about their own business. And we're going to pat on the back this week is people that are non-African American, people that are in positions in high places. They got a lot to lose, but they choose to use their platform anyway. Athletes, actors, recording artists, and people that are in position that their voice and their freedom of speech could maybe lose a deal, lose an endorsement, but they still choose to step forward. I want to salute those people. I want to salute all the people because everything matters. People that are peacefully protesting. I want to salute the law enforcement people that have been tired of this. It's time to look around at your peers and say, dog, you fucking up, man. I'm not going to watch you let this dude die. And start really taking advantage of just being human, you know what I mean, and using humanistic approach. So people that are up for that fight, you know what I mean, up for humans being treated like humans, that are really out there, you know, no matter what level you at, I want to salute you guys.
All right, tell the people what to do, Tyron.
Hey, man, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, dope. But make sure you subscribe, though, because it makes it real easy. Set the notification, ding, ding, ding. We got something else cracking. TMZ Sports on YouTube. But if you're on Facebook, we love you. We understand you consume that too. But also, just subscribe, because you never know when we're going to bust you upside the head with a dope show like this. So,
That's right.
Hollywood Beatdown and more badass shows on TMZ Sports.